One. All right, and we are live. So our final lesson actually in multiplication is this lesson. This is the final one, and then we move on to division. So if you get this today, you are solid with your multiplication of fractions. So we've already done multiplication of proper fractions. We've done multiplications of fractions and whole numbers. We've done estimation of fractions, the products of fractions. And now we're going to work in our final step, which is multiplying mixed numbers. All right. And our essential question for today, pretty obvious. How can you multiply mixed numbers? All right. So thank you to Izzy for sending in her Bitmoji. And I see that I'm getting some Bitmojis that are Christmas themed, and we have one full week left. So any winter or Christmas ones are always fun to throw in these last final weeks if you want to send me your Bitmoji. Or if you have a picture of yourself in the snow or something like that, I would love to do some snow pictures also.
A Bitmoji snow picture or real life snow picture?
It could be either. Yeah, maybe you like skiing or ice skating or things like that. Winter sports are always fun for word problems as well. All right, so that being said,
this is a sad thing about
all right, we're not gonna
snow.
So I know it doesn't really snow, but maybe if you ever visited somewhere. But
yeah,
let's
Tahoe.
Exactly, like Tahoe. All right, so let's get started, guys.
Same.
All right, let's get started, and then you can send me your emails. I look forward to seeing them. So Izzy is a good friend of Santa. Of course she is. She's on the good list, right, Izzy? And she is pet sitting Rudolph. Fifth graders, I would really love to get through a sentence without having multiple people talk over me. Thank you. So she's pet sitting Rudolph for a few days. She must feed him 5.5 cups of oats a day for 4 days. How many cups of oats should she buy? All right, so Izzy, you're pet sitting. What operation are you going to need to use to solve this? You need to find out how many cups of oats Rudolph needs for those 4 days you're babysitting him. What operation? You want to let me know? Izzy, can you hear me?
Well, she probably AFK.
I would love to hear from just Izzy, who I called on. Thank you. So ready? 5.5 cups a day, and then 5.5 cups on day 1, 5.5 cups on day 2, 5.5 cups on day 3, 5.5 cups on day 4. What operation can I use to solve how many cups altogether that you need to buy?
Multiplying?
You could definitely multiply, right? You would use your 5.5 cups of oats, and then you would multiply it by your Izzy. It's right in front of you. Multiply by. You got this.
There's so many words in this problem.
By what?
There's so many words in this problem.
Are there? Let's take that. There's one sentence that gives you all the clues you need, and that would be our second sentence. She must feed him 5.5 cups of oats a day for 4 days. So we have to take the 5.5 cups and we have to multiply it by the
4 days.
Or by the 4 days, correct. We could technically, if you said addition, that would totally work also, right? But you'd have to do 5.5 for day 1, plus 5.5 for day 2, plus 5.5 for day 3, plus 5.5 for day 4. We could use repeated addition, or we could just use multiplication. So you are absolutely correct. Let's set up that problem, shall we? Everyone, please make sure you have your notebooks. If you would like, you are also welcome to color code along with me, because you know that that's my favorite. I love my color coding. And all I hear are jingles because I bought these little jingle earrings. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. Please, please, thank you. All right, can you all see my board? Let's hope there's no glare today. So we had how many oats?
5.5 times 4.
We have 5.5 oats. Cups, I should say.
Glare.
There's the
And
glare.
it was times,
Glare.
all right, give me 1 second to adjust it. Times the 4 days.
Glare.
Better.
There we go.
Better.
All right, times the 4 days. Now, every time we multiply with fractions, what do we wind up having to do? What do we wind up?
Making whole numbers not whole numbers.
Numbers not.
Exactly. What can you only multiply when you have fractions?
Other fractions.
You can only, so whoa. Neither of these are proper fractions, and I can only multiply a fraction with the numerator and denominator. There can be no whole numbers. So I see a whole number here, and I see a whole number here. I can't work with that. I need to change it. So let's work with the obvious one because we've been doing it all along. All along, we've been working with turning our whole numbers into fractions. So how are we going to do that today? How are we going to?
4/1.
Correct. So we write our whole numbers as an improper fraction, 4/1. Everybody agree with that so far? It's what we've been doing all along. Nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So the only dilemma we have now is, well, we have this mixed number. Think back to when we did mixed numbers. Is there a type of fraction? Hold on. Is there a type of fraction that we can change the 5.5 to that would not have any whole numbers in it?
Improper
fraction.
An improper fraction. And guess what? We're gonna have
Multiply
to
them
we're gonna
and make it
exactly. We're going to have to Johnny Bravo this, guys.
Math.
Multiply them.
All right.
Proper.
Yes, we have a mixed number. We're going to have to Johnny Bravo it, and we're going to have to make it match. So immediately, 5th graders, I'm going to remember I go left to right, bottom to top. Multiply, then add.
Make it math.
Start with a 5. 5 times 2 is
10.
add plus 1 is
11.
so it's going to be 11 is my numerator, and remember I always keep my denominator. What was my original denominator?
2.
So all I did, does everybody agree that 11/2 is the same as 5.5?
Yes.
Yes.
That is correct. It is the same as 5.5. So now that we know that, do we have 2 fractions and no whole numbers to work with now?
Yes.
Yes, so now we can do the same exact steps that we've been doing all along. First step,
Simplify and set the problem. And
yes, let's look at our numerator and denominator. Are there
20.
any, please stop calling out.
okay.
Are there any numerators and denominators that can be simplified?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 and
Yes,
4.
whoa, all this calling out today. I'm looking for a hand. Any numerators and denominators? Matthias?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. What can it be simplified by? What's the greatest common factor? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. We get 2 up top. And we get 1 on the bottom, which is awesome because when I have 2 1s, I don't have to write it out, do I?
No.
Anything else can be simplified?
No.
No. So we have to multiply numerators and numerators, denominators and denominators. 11 times 2 equals
22.
22. 1 times 1 is going to be 1, but then I'm going to have 22/1 and have to simplify it, right?
Yeah.
So do I have to write over 1?
No.
It's already a whole
22
number.
cups of oats.
It's already
So
a whole
yes,
number.
that solved our equation.
cups of oats.
5th graders. That solved our
Yum.
equation, but it did not solve our problem. Izzy still needs to know how many cups of oats. So instead of just saying 22, we're going to say Izzy needs 22
cups
of oats.
Yay.
Wait, Miss Velez,
Yes.
isn't there another way that you could do it that's a bit faster? Like, you see the 4 and then the 5.5, and then you just do 4 times 5 is 20, and then 4 times like 1.5. Like you can see that 1.5.
That's what I did.
4 halves are equal 2 wholes, so then you just add them together. 20
Sure,
plus
you
2 is
can,
22.
you can dissect your problem as long as you don't make any careless errors. I don't mind.
Oh, I get that.
Right? That's
I
kind
love
of,
texting
we
Rudolph.
kind of did that when we did traditional multiplication, where we split it by its place value and then multiplied it that way. Kind of that was what you just did with your fractions, is basically partial products, and then you added your
Yeah.
partial products. Yeah, you can do it like that, but I'm just gonna say no careless errors. Okay. It's acceptable though. All right. So 22 cups of oats. That is our final answer. Let
Wait,
us move
Miss
on
Celeste,
to some more practice problems.
my
And
thing is glitching.
all right, maybe you want to leave and come back and see if it works. And guys, I'm just going to ask that if you're not volunteering an answer, that you put yourself on mute, because we do have a lot of background noise interference. All right, so multiplying two mixed numbers. We're going to be working from pages 288 and 289 for some problems there. And again, feel free to color code along with me if you'd like. You may even use red and green. I thought I had a red, and I guess I don't, unless this one writes today. Let's see. Oh, maybe I'll get lucky with this red today. All right, let's continue. Let's take a peek at one that they did not give us so much work for, so many answers for. Let's take a look at number 11. 2.5.
2 1/6.
Oh, sorry, 2 1/6.
And then it's 4
times
1/2.
4.5. Thank you very much. All right. I can only work with fractions. I cannot work with whole numbers. Still got that glare. Okay. I cannot work with whole numbers. So since I have two mixed numbers, I'm going to have to make both of them mad. Multiply, then add, make it mad. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to start from my 2, and I'm going to go left to right, bottom to top. All right. So it's going to be 2 times 6 equals 12. And then we add plus 1 equals
13.
13. And that'll be my numerator. And remember, I always keep my denominator. So what's my denominator going to be?
6.
6. Good. Same thing. Multiply, then add, make it mad. Left to right, bottom to top. 4 times 2 equals
8.
8 plus 1 equals
9.
9. And that's our numerator. Keep our denominator. So what's our denominator going to be? 2. And of course, they're going to be improper because they're definitely more than 1. And let's multiply. First thing before I multiply my numerators and denominators is to see if there's anything that can be simplified. Is there anything that can be simplified? Let me look out in the crowd. Clarissa, is there anything you see that could be simplified? Any two numbers?
No.
Look carefully. They don't. It could be. They can have any number in common that can go into them. Both.
Can it be like across or up and down?
9 and 6.
It could be. I don't know why you're answering when I called on Clarissa. I don't know. It can be any numerator and any denominator. So yes, it could be a cross.
Okay. Well, 9 and 6.
Okay, so what can they both be simplified by?
3.
Okay, so divide by 3, divide by 3. And what are our new numerators and denominators? 9 divided by 3 equals?
3.
But wait,
3.
divided by 3 would be
3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
okay.
6 divided by 3 equals 2. If you want, especially if you're not using color coding, if you want to make it more obvious and kind of erase it or scribble it out so that you don't accidentally use that, you are welcome to, right? because you're working with pencil, you might as well just erase it so you don't make the mistake. I could even do that. I took out my old numbers and look, it's a brand new problem. 13 over 2 times 3 over 2. Is there anything else that can be simplified?
No.
No, unfortunately. So we do have,
Nope.
yeah, we do have a big number, but I think you can still multiply it because it's 13 times 3. What's 13 times 3?
39.
39.
You should be able to do that in your head. 39. And 2 times 2 is
4.
4. Our numerator is greater than our denominator, so we determine
Divide.
that's improper. We're going to have to divide it.
Improper.
We must divide. 39 goes inside the house. And if you can do this in your head, even better. And you're dividing by 4. How many times can 4 go into 39?
8.
9 times. 9 times.
9. 3 times 9 is 36. I mean, sorry, 4 times 9 is 36. So we have a remainder of
We have a remainder of 3.
3. But we don't write remainders when we're working with fractions. So it would be 9 and
9
3
4.
over 4. You write the remainder and you keep the denominator. Our denominator was 4, so it stays 4. 9 3/4. Woot woot, we did it.
Yay.
So it's the same exact steps. There's a little bit extra, but it's not anything new, right? We know how to convert mixed numbers to improper. We know how to simplify an improper and turn it back into a mixed number. Those are the only extra steps, right? Converting mixed numbers to improper, improper to mixed numbers. That's it. So hopefully that's still up here and we still remember how to do that. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not inspiring much confidence. I only had one answer there.
Everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's try
Confidence.
another one. I know. 3/4. We're going to work on number 12 times 8 1/2. Well, this is kind of like a club here. It's club. It's a club in that only select members may enter. So the 3/4. Oh yes, hello. You are welcome to enter. You've got a numerator and a denominator, and you don't have any whole numbers accompanying you. So you are good to go. Oh my gosh, 8 1/2. You may not enter. We must change this appearance here. All right, what do we have to do?
Multiply.
Make it mad.
Make it mad. Multiply, then add. Make it mad. All right,
Make it
so
mad.
all right, so left to right.
Make it red.
Bottom to top.
Okay, so start with the number that's left. That's 8 to right times 2.
2.
Multiply, we get
16.
and then add.
17.
Good. 17 becomes my
Numerator.
Numerator.
And what's the denominator?
2.
Yes.
17 halves.
You got it, dude. All right. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Why am I saying oh no?
Because you
Because
wasted
you
your
can't
life on
simplify.
something
Why
you
am
didn't
I
want
saying
to
oh no?
Because you can't
Nothing can be
simplify.
There's nothing
can't
to
be
simplify. There's
Yeah.
nothing. I'm looking at all my numerators and all my denominators. I hope no one said, oh, yes, right here, a 2 and a 4. They're both.
Go.
Denominator.
Yes, you can't use.
Denominator.
All right, so guys, unfortunately, we're going to have to just multiply numerator, numerator, denominator, denominator.
Make it.
Sorry, I wish we
Add.
could have simplified there,
I
but
wanted to simplify.
Miss White,
I
why
know.
did you give us this problem?
because you need to know how to tackle any problem, and not everything's going to be easy peasy. But
I'll simplify.
hopefully you know how to do this.
Easy peasy.
3
lemon.
times
You
17.
know.
Easy
51.
51.
All right, 3 times 17
51.
equals
61.
51.
51.
61.
51. Well, if you don't know, you can quickly, instead of guessing, write it on the side. 7 times 3 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5 is 51. Don't guess. If you don't know it, don't guess. Please don't guess. It does not take that much longer to write it out. I don't want guessing games. So if you were sitting there saying, is it this or that? Well, then you don't know it by heart, which is okay because we don't know our 17 times table by heart. But take the extra 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds it took me.
Take the
to write
extra
this,
$50 million.
excuse me, to actually write it out. So 51, now multiply your denominators. 4 times 2 equals
8.
8. Again, and we already saw this coming from a mile away. It's improper. We're going to have to divide. 51 divided by
8.
8. How many times does 8 go
6.
into 51?
6 times.
8 times 6 is 48.
48.
And what's our remainder?
3.
3.
All right, but we don't write remainder 3, we write as a fraction. So the
6,
remainder
3
over
3 over
3,
8.
8.
3
6 and 3/8. Right? The numerator
Wait,
is
but
always
they're
a
not going to be
remainder.
let into the club like that.
Poor
Well,
them.
They expanded once they got into the club.
Oh, that's just cheeky. That's
No, yeah, 8.5 expanded, made it so that mixed numbers can go
yeah,
in too. 'cause
exactly.
It was
That is a
sad.
cheeky move.
They
okay?
just
It
needed
was
to
hiding
make
its
sure.
extra
They
numbers.
just needed to make sure they could get in. Okay. Once they got in, they're like, all
Did
right.
it just hide its extra numbers
yeah,
in its
I'ma head out.
backpack?
So are they
It's
is
like
it
in the
illegal?
cartoons when the animals try and get into the club and they all pile on top of each other and put a
And
giant
then they
coat
die.
on. And
Yeah.
then they
Yeah.
whoa, we're not getting morbid. We're not getting morbid.
Classic.
All right.
Right.
We get tattoos now because he's in the club.
What?
That club.
I've never.
That
What?
club.
All right,
Wait,
moving on.
okay.
Number 13. Shh. Number 13. Start writing it out and start changing it. I'm going to call on some people at random to tell me. I know, gasp. To tell me what you changed your mixed numbers to, because they ain't allowed right now. They got to be fractions. And I think maybe it's just because the entranceway can only allow a numerator denominator. There's not enough space for a whole number to go in. All right, 1 1/8. Number 13. 1 1/8 times 3 1/3. All right. We need regular fractions, no whole numbers, no mixed numbers. So we have to get rid of these whole numbers. I'm going to start drawing
Got it.
left to right. Well, actually, did I leave enough space to do the work here? Well, it's okay because you guys are going to do the work for me. So I don't. All right, left to right, bottom to top. Left to right, bottom to top. Multiply, then add, make it mad. Multiply, then add, make it mad. All right, that being said, looking out into the universe of you,
Hi.
Soren, can you please convert this 1 1/8 into an improper fraction? Johnny Bravo it for me.
9/8.
9/8. Ding, ding, ding. 1 times 8 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Keep your denominator. Awesome. Thank you, Soren.
Good
And
job, guys.
let me look out and see.
We have to help Johnny Bravo
Excuse
and
me.
bring him back to normal.
Patrick.
Shh. Let me see someone out there. Seb A. Seb A. All right, what do we turn our next mixed number into? Our next mixed number. We have the 3 1/3.
I'm not so sure.
Oh, I know.
Well, work through the steps with me then if you're not so sure. We go from left to right, bottom to top, multiply, then add, make it mad. So start with your 3.
Oh yeah.
3 times. We got to work with me, Sebastian.
I know what it is.
I said Sebastian. Thank you. Sebastian?
Sorry, I was kind of just blanking off.
Okay.
3. I'm so confused.
All right, work with me. Work with me. Ready? Left to right, bottom to top. So we start with the number that's all the way to the left. We always start with our whole number.
Okay.
3. So make it mad means multiply, then add. So we're going to multiply first. 3 times 3 equals
9.
9. And now we have to add. What's the only number left to add?
1.
1. 9 plus 1 equals
10.
10. And that becomes your numerator. What did I say you always do, Sebastian, with your denominator? What number is always your denominator?
The top.
No, the
wait,
numerator.
I think something else.
Okay, so remember, we always keep the original denominator. So the original denominator was 3.
3.
You're going to keep 3 as your denominator. All right. Thank you.
This is Ez.
All right. I do spy, finally, I do spy some numbers that can be altered.
Hello.
I do spy numbers that can be altered. Seraphin, do you see a numerator and denominator that can be simplified?
10 and 8.
Ooh, 10 and 8. What can I
Yeah, that was
simplify?
what I was thinking.
What's the greatest common factor that 10 and 8 has?
2.
Yep. It's not a big one, but it is the largest that both have in common. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So 10 divided by 2 equals
5.
5. And then 8, and then 4.
But Miss Velez.
And 8
9
divided
and
by
3.
Yeah, you can do 9 and 3.
Turning me into a monkey over here. One thing at a time. All right, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now that you've made me turn full monkey over here. All right, and you know what? Because I either am working in pencil at home or I'm working on my whiteboard, I don't need to keep these old numbers here. Those are my new numbers. Now,
No.
Is there any other set of numbers that can be simplified? Yes, Lenny, who turned
9 and
into a
3.
monkey. Oh, yes, thank you. 9 and 3. What can it be simplified by?
3.
Thank you. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. We get
1 and 3.
3 up top,
And
1 on the bottom. And I'm going to, again, erase the old numbers because why keep them? I already changed them.
Erase.
And there's a whole new problem. 3/4 times 5 over 1.
It's really spread out.
I know.
They're social distancing.
They are.
Distancing.
They're social.
They're not Karens. They're not Karens. Let's
All right.
go.
Social distancing.
Is there officially anything else that can be simplified?
No. Yes.
All right, so let's multiply across. 3 times 5 equals?
15.
4 times 1 equals?
4.
Oh, another improper. We're going to have to divide.
I know what the answer is.
The numerator or the number on the top gets to go into the house. 4 goes outside. 4 goes into 15 how many times?
3.
3, which gives
3.
you 12. Remainder 3. How do I write the remainder?
3 and
It's 3
3/4.
You don't write remainders for fractions. It's I heard
3 and
Danielle say
3/4.
3 and 3/4. Is
I said
that
it.
in simplest form?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because you already
Because
simplified.
they
We
did
do.
Because I
simplify.
did all that
Simplify inside
simplifying
the
when I was
problem.
turning into a monkey. I did all that simplifying already. So
Monkey.
nothing left to simplify. Awesome. So yes, guys, it's a few more steps and you're like, oh, but you cannot
How many problems do we
cannot-
have?
Question.
Hold
Do
on.
we have a math
Excuse me.
lesson?
Shh, shh, shh. It is more steps, but you cannot say that it is harder than the multiplication we've been doing. It is not harder, it is just more steps. We already did a whole lesson on changing mixed numbers to improper and improper to mixed numbers. We did a whole lesson on changing whole numbers to improper. We did a whole lesson on multiplying fractions. So this is just building on the skills we've already had. Does everybody agree that it is not harder, it is just more steps?
Yes.
Wouldn't it technically make it harder?
It shouldn't. It should just be like, I wouldn't say harder.
Because-
I would say, for me, I would say, oh, it's a little bit more tedious. Meaning,
Yeah.
there's
It's
more
just
to do.
harder.
Oh, this is tedious. Am I still working on this problem?
Yeah, then that
Yes.
means it's harder.
But
No, it
that does
doesn't.
not make it harder. That just makes it more steps. But
It's logical,
hopefully,
that makes-
hopefully, something that we didn't have when we started working with our fractions in general, hopefully your mental math skills are faster. So you're actually doing these steps a lot faster.
Mental
Yeah, can we
math
please
Alright.
skills.
mental math everything and then we done?
Considering how many careless mistakes I'm still getting, and yeah, a lot. So that tells me it takes 30 seconds more. Take the 30 seconds, especially if you only get like 5 or 6 questions. Get those 5 or 6 questions right.
Get those 5 or 6
Seriously.
questions.
Seriously.
wrong.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at number
Leave.
14. 3 1/4 times 6. All right, Seb V. I spy with my little eye a number that cannot get in the club. We need to make it into a
Improper fraction.
numerator and a denominator. Let's make it improper. How do you do that?
First
me through
you multiply the whole number by the denominator.
Good.
So it's 4. It's 12. It's 12.
12, and then
Times the. I
3
forgot
times
what
4
the
equals
steps.
12. Multiply, then add. Make it math.
Multiply the 12 by the.
We already multiplied.
Wait, yeah.
Multiply then add.
And then
We already multiplied, so what's the next step? Multiply,
add.
then. Good.
you keep.
Multiply and multiply.
I forgot
You
one of the steps.
Multiply, then.
Add.
Multiply.
Add. So what do we add now? We have 3 times 4 equals 12. Now let's add.
The 1.
Plus 1 equals.
1 equals.
I'm
13.
so sorry. I'm
13.
Thank you, Sebastian. And what do we use as the denominator?
4.
Correct. You keep the 4. There you go.
Yay.
That was pretty painless.
Yes.
That was like
Pretty-
I forgot one of the steps, and whenever I forgot one of the steps, I lose my brain cells instantly, and I become dumb.
Oh my gosh, don't lose your brain cells.
You gotta lose brain cells.
All right. If you feel, I don't want to hear
anyone.
anyone saying they're losing their brain cells. That you should be gaining brain
more than
cells
I
from
am.
doing the
Losing
math.
my brain
You're
cells.
exercising.
I gain
your
brain cells when I
Alright.
actually win against Quinn, but yeah.
Okay.
No, you
Continuing.
actually lose more
You're
brain
continuing
cells.
5th grade. All right. What about the 6? What about the 6, Lila?
It would be 6 over 1.
Yes. I was aiming for an angelic voice there since you have the halo, but it didn't quite work. Let's pretend it was angelic, okay? All right. First step. Let's see, and hopefully, fingers crossed, let's see if we can simplify anything inside of the problem. Is there anything that can be
Yes.
simplified?
Yes.
What can be simplified?
Yes.
4 and 6.
Luigi. Luigi.
What a pat.
Luigi.
4 and 6.
Yes. What can it be simplified by?
2.
Thank you. Divide by 2. Divide by
That actually rhymes. Cool.
2 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is
B.
3.
3.
Twee.
And I'm going to erase my old numbers because I don't need you anymore.
That sounds,
Goodbye, little numbers. Nobody cares about
Goodbye.
you.
Sorry.
that sounds pretty mean.
I'm just keeping it 100.
But it's true.
All right. 13
Care
times
about
3,
them.
Patrick.
Do not care about that.
13 times 3, that is 39.
39. 2 times 1 is 2. How do I turn?
Divide.
So 39 divided by 2. Anybody have the answer for me? Emma, do you have it yet?
Still working on it. I'm guessing.
Okay.
12?
You divide.
Emma. Wow, I'm hearing all these other voices. Yes, Emma.
You divide 39 by 2,
Yeah.
and then it
Well, you could do one step at a time. 2 goes into 3 one time.
mhm.
Minus 2, you get 1. Bring down the 9. Now 2 goes into 19. How many times?
2 goes into 19. 9.
Yeah, 9 times. We get 18. Subtract, and we get a remainder of 1. And keep that denominator
Denominator. And you get
is a
18.
good. Good.
Amazing.
19 and a half. Woot, woot. All
It's
right.
9:50.
100
I know. I'm
probably.
trying to let us go. So 5th graders, in the chat, and then you may be dismissed. In the chat, let me know how you feel about this lesson. If you're getting it, if you need some extra help, or if you'd like me to do another practice problem, let me know in the chat below.
Let me know.